It's been just over 3 weeks since Jeremiah Duggar and Hannah Wissmann announced their engagement. But already, these two are in the final stages of their wedding planning process. A date has been set, the invitations have been mailed, and Hannah and Jeremiah are ready to exchange vows in front of 300 of their family's closest friends. Usually, Duggar weddings are secretive affairs, but thanks to some devoted internet sleuths, we already know when these two are getting hitched. Jeremiah and Hannah's wedding date has been revealed as March 26th. Yes, the couple will be tying the knot less than 3 months after getting engaged. Duggar engagements are usually short, but not this short. If you've ever planned a wedding, especially during the pandemic, then you know what a stressful, time-consuming affair it can be. And the idea of planning a wedding for upwards of 300 people in less than 3 months is probably enough to give you a panic attack. So why would Jeremiah and Hannah sprint to the altar in this fashion? Well, the answer to that question might have something to do with the scandal that finally brought down the Duggars' multi-million-dollar media empire. We're talking, of course, about Josh's conviction on CP charges. Obviously, the trial is done and over with, but it will be a long time before Josh disappears from the headlines for good. Josh's sentencing is scheduled for April, and many believe that Jeremiah and Hannah are hoping to be off on their honeymoon before he sets foot back in courtroom. The couple is no doubt aware that the longer they wait, the more they run the risk of their nuptials being overshadowed by more coverage of the biggest scandal in the history of reality television. Unfortunately, it might already be too late for Jeremiah and Hannah to get hitched before the mainstream media refocuses its attention on Josh. Josh has already filed an appeal asking the judge in his case to overturn his conviction. That obviously won't happen, but the 33-year-old will almost certainly be granted a new trial, and it will probably begin very soon. Defense attorneys are now claiming that Josh was framed by an employee named Caleb Williams, who blew the whistle on his boss in order to divert attention away from his own sex crimes. It's a ridiculous argument based on laughably flimsy evidence, but it should be enough to land Josh back in a courtroom, where he'll once again plead for his innocence. No doubt Jeremiah and Hannah are hoping that this will all take place after they've already said "I do." Otherwise, they might find their wedding taking place amid a firestorm of negative press coverage. We don't know where Jeremiah and Hannah are getting married yet, but since her family is from Nebraska, there's a good chance that these two will exchange vows far from the Duggar compound in Arkansas. If that's the case, Jeremiah's parents might be faced with a difficult decision. Will Jim, Bob, and Michelle attend the wedding, or support their eldest son at his latest trial? The choice might sound obvious to most sane people. But it's important to remember that Josh's parents still believe he's innocent. And they believe the attempt to frame him is just the latest example of their entire family being targeted. So don't be surprised if Jeremiah's parents skip his wedding in order to continue propping up Josh.